Hey guys, so I did it again. I bought another Ryobi tool. Alright, so this is a Ryobi 1.5 horsepower router, and I actually already own a router. I have one installed in a router table, but that router is quite a bit older and I have a new jig to make a tabletop with, and that router will not fit with that jig. So I needed a router that was compatible with it, and this happened to fit. And of course, you know I like Ryobi, so I went and bought a Ryobi router. Now this is the Ryobi R1631K model. I haven't unboxed it yet, so we're gonna do that here on video for you. All right, as I open this up, I'm gonna be honest with you, the router is probably the tool I had the least amount of experience with of all the tools I currently own. And that's mostly just because I don't do a lot of projects where I have had to use my router, and typically that's because routers are used for making some of that finer woodworking, and a lot of the projects I've been doing lately just haven't required that. So I do hope to kind of rectify that in the future and do some more projects with my router and my router table, and hopefully get a lot more experience with it, because I know you can do some really cool stuff with them. So this one comes in a tool bag. Let's see if we can get it out of here. There we go. All right, got a nice little tool carrying bag for it. We'll set that off to the side for now. Unlike a lot of Ryobi tools that I buy, this one is corded. It is not an 18-volt series, and that is my only issue with it. But I mean, you're not gonna have an easy time generating 1.5 horsepower and have it run for a while using an 18-volt battery. So I understand that they didn't have one available. If in the future the battery technology changes and they're able to produce one, I would probably definitely end up buying one. And we got our instructions, cardboard off. Let's get a better look at this. All right, this is it. This is the Ryobi router. Now again, I don't have a lot of experience with them overall, so there's not too much I'm gonna be able to go into here and really explain to you about getting some more hands-on with it. So it does come with a couple different things, so we'll open that up real fast. We've got, looks like 3 different size chucks here. And we got a wrench. And of course we have our instruction booklet. So as I mentioned before, I have limited experience using a router. I ended up stopping the video and started a project that involved using the router to get some hands-on experience with it. So now we're gonna discuss some of the router's features and how to set it up. First thing you're gonna wanna do is just go ahead and flip it upside down. And you can just turn it upside down and set it on the motor. And then what we're gonna do is, if this is not already loosened, you need to loosen this up. And the way you do that is wind it up so that when you push in on this bracket right here, it will slide on the slot, and you press down on it, and it will now lock the bottom of the chuck into place and allow you to manipulate this. So loosen it up and your bit will drop in. Next, you need to tighten it. Tighten it by hand first, get it finger tight. And now to finish it off, even with it finger tight, I can't go anymore. You'll find that the bit can still move in and out. Right, so now grab your wrench, still holding down pressure on the locking bracket. Go ahead and tighten it down. It doesn't have to be too tight, and there you go. Can't come out anymore. I can't undo the chuck itself, and you're good. Go ahead and release it, and your bit's mounted. Okay, next big thing for the router is actually setting your depth for how deep you're gonna make your cut. Undo this, all right? And that'll allow you to manipulate the guide up and down. You also have to pull out on this because it locks into place right here. And now you can manipulate fully up, fully down. Now, if you need to make minor adjustments, what you wanna do is you wanna use this right here. You wanna set it to 0 first for whatever height you're gonna initially start your cut at. You'll zero it out, and then when you wanna make those minor adjustments, you'll come back here and you'll make those small little turns until you have the extra, you know, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch, or 1/2 inch cut that you're trying to achieve as you slowly bring it down. But ultimately, your depth cut is going to be based off of what you are actually cutting on. So if you're trying to cut a 2x4, or if you're going to be cutting, say, a piece of plywood with it, then the depth of the cut is going to vary based off of what you're actually cutting. Okay, last couple things we're going to cover is when you are cutting, you have a nice little shield to block the wood chips and sawdust from coming directly at you if you are pulling the router towards you rather than pushing it away from your body. If you are pushing it away from your body, then likely you're going to end up having the open side towards you, so you're just gonna get covered with sawdust. So I prefer to stand with the shield facing me and I pull towards myself. You also have 2 LED work lights up here in the actual housing itself on the motor, and those are really nice. They help you really see your surface a lot better while you're doing your cut. And this motor is pretty powerful. I was cutting 2x6 pressure treated wood for the project I was working on, and it's just with this bit that I've got in it, which is a Diablo bit, and the 1.5 horsepower from the router itself, I went through that pressure treated wood like it was butter. So overall, I'm really happy with this product. Again, I have limited experience with routers, so I'm sure there's some better ones out there on the market, but as far as starting out with a router, I'm extremely happy with the way this turned out. Okay, so one more thing I want to mention before we wrap up the video is if you are reading the instruction book to help you set up the router, it can be a bit confusing. If you flip through the first couple of pages trying to find how to install the bit or how to set the depth, you'll notice that there are no pictures anywhere. So if you don't pay attention during the instructions, you'll easily miss the fact that they put all the pictures for the things that they're talking about at the back of the book, and I assume they did that to save down on printing it for each different chapter where they've printed the instructions in multiple languages. But go ahead and flip to the back of the book. You'll find all of the figures that will help you explain how to do different things that the instructions talk about doing. And you can figure out how to set up this router just by reading those instructions. Other than that, again, I have limited experience with router, so if I refer to certain things that were incorrect, the wrong terminology for it, I apologize for that. I'm still learning a lot about this device. So I hope you learned something from this video as well, and if you're starting out, I do highly encourage you to get a router. This was really fun to work with, and it's opened up a lot of new options for cuts. So if you liked this video or found it helpful, then make sure to give us a thumbs up. If you want to see the project where I used the router to cut the 2x6s that are sitting behind me, then make sure to subscribe so you know when it's posted. And if you have any questions, then leave us a comment down below, and we'll see you next time.